ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So in this verse and in the previous few verses, the realization, the perfection of Ashtanga Yoga is described very nicely. After perfection, what is the vision of that perfected soul? How does he see? Now let us take for example, what is our vision when we see people? We see somebody, he is fat. Somebody we see, he is very thin. Somebody we see in terms of their nature, he is very angry man, he is very envious, isn't it? These are the, or man, woman, dog, we see in varieties of ways. But when a person has become self-realized, his vision is different. And he acts on that platform also. At present, we may have knowledge. We are not naham vipro, na cha narpati, napi vaishyo, na shudro. Correct? We may have this knowledge that yes, I am neither Shudra, I am not some Brahmana, I am not a sannyasi, I am eternal servant of the Lord. So, this vision that every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and is servant of the Lord, this is perfectly visualized and seen, experienced by a person who has attained perfection in yoga, and that is what is being described here. Few days back I was giving a class on Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter. That shloka, famous shloka. Vidya vinaye sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shunike vashvapake cha pandita samadarshina. Isn't it? So it's very interesting. Prabhupada in the purport writes, Vidya vinaye sampanne. Now you see what is described. Brahmane, it's a Brahmana. Gavi, it's a cow. Hastini is an elephant. Brahmane Gavi Hastini. Shuni means dog. Shvapaki is dog eater. Pandita Samadarshi. A Pandita, self-realized soul, learned man, he sees all of them with equal vision. Now, if you see in the verse, there are two distinctions mentioned. Brahmana and Chandala. They come from the same species, but on social level they are different. Correct? Mathuresh? What is the word? Brahmana and Shwapake means Chandala, dog eater. So, are they from different species or they are from the same species? Same species, human, right? But there is a difference in social status. Socially, there is a difference. Then, Brahmana, Gavi, cow, they are from different species. Hastini, dog, elephant, all of them are from different species. Cow is different from dog in terms of species. Human being is different in terms of species from all of them. But that is what. So there may be difference in species, or there may be differences in social status in the same species. But when one has become learned, he sees no such differences. He sees them with equal vision. He sees them with equal vision. So, Brahmachari should not start saying, Prabhu, I am seeing with equal vision. So, why are you telling me not to preach to Matajis? Isn't it? Because we are not self-realized. Actually, if we see with equal vision, there is no difference and nobody will tell you. Haridas Thakur was able to see with equal vision. And that is how he was able to convert that prostitute into a great devotee. But we cannot imitate. For us it is mentioned, even with our own mother and sister, one should not sit in a solitary place. Discrimination is advised for us. So we have to discriminate because we are not on that level. What it is being described here is the vision of a perfected soul. So what is the application? I see this, a self-realized soul is seeing everyone with equal vision. What does he do by seeing like this? What will be the impetus for him to do something? He is seeing there is no difference between Chandala, there is no difference between a person born in Brahmana family. So how does he apply these teachings? What does he do? Yes. So he is able to see that actually in reality everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Unfortunately, many have forgotten. Practically everybody has forgotten that. So he makes no distinction. He makes no distinction and he preaches Krishna consciousness to everyone without discrimination. That is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Anywhere you go, everywhere you go, just preach Krishna consciousness. This is the application, at least we can apply. Prabhupada has applied, we just have to follow it. We may not be able to see. Self-realized soul can see. So he built temple wherein there is no discrimination. Anyone can come, anyone can become benefited. So we can just try to take this message of Srila Prabhupada to one and all without discrimination. This is how we can apply these teachings, that a self-realized soul does not see any difference. Correct? If we all see our own lives, all of us can realize that actually if Prabhupada had not given us this opportunity, if Prabhupada had not seen us with this equal vision, where was the possibility that we would have become benefited in Krishna consciousness? So, similarly, now we should distribute this Krishna consciousness without discrimination to one and all. This is important. So, there are two ways a self-realized soul sees no discrimination. Nishkinchana, what is one? There are two ways. Very good. One is he sees that the Supreme Lord has entered in each and every living entity as super soul. The super soul is present in each and every living entity. Andantara paramanu chayantara stham. He has entered into every atom, everywhere. And the Supreme Lord is not making any discrimination. He is not saying, I will not enter into the heart of a Chandala. Does he make a distinction? Prabhupada says, it is just like the sun. Sun does not make any distinction. I will shine only in the house of a Brahmana. I will not shine in the house of a Chandala. Sun does not make any distinction like this. Similarly, the Supreme Lord does not make any distinction. He is Suhridam Sarva Bhutana. It's not only for human being. He is the best well-wisher for every living entity. So devotee understands, if the Supreme Lord is not making distinction, He is friendly, why I should discriminate? So everyone is, especially in the human form of life, at least we can preach Krishna consciousness. And of course, by chanting the vibrations of Hare Krishna mantra, imperceptibly even other living entities, they also advance. Srila Haridas Thakur says that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He says that when the devotees chant loudly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting, the echo is the echo of all the other living entities. So they are also chanting, they are also hearing the holy name of the Lord. So, Any other living entity also, they also become advanced, whether they understand or they don't understand. But specifically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned, Bharat Bhumi te Manushya Janam hoilo ya. One who has taken human birth, because that is an opportunity to understand the Supreme Lord. In other species of life, that opportunity is not available. They can also get benefited some way or other, either by when give some prasadam or they hear some vibration, they also become benefited. But specifically, this is how we do. So, one is, how does a devotee not discriminate? Without discrimination, he preaches Krishna consciousness to one and all. And for the animals, how does he treat them equally? Atmavat sarva bhuteshu. He understands, just like I feel pain, every living entity feel pain. So unnecessarily, he does not give pain to any living entity. Unnecessarily. You see. So this is the way devotee applies this principle of non-discrimination. In the human being, he preaches Krishna consciousness without discrimination. And for other species of life, unnecessarily, without any requirement, he does not give pain even to an ant, even to a small living entity. We find this example in the life of Brigari. Unnecessarily, he did not want to even kill a small ant with his feet. So this is the meaning of Pandita Samadarshina. He sees with equal vision. So, one way of seeing with equal vision is to see the Supreme Lord as Paramatma present in every living entity's heart, and understanding that the Supreme Lord does not discriminate. Why should I discriminate? That is one. What is the other way? Devotee sees every living entity, Samadarshina. Arul, you have some idea? Surad? Yeah, that is okay. One way to see Samadarshina is because of the understanding that Super Soul is present. So Samadarshina, the Supreme Lord is present in every living entity, so he sees with equal vision. That my dear Supreme Lord as Paramatma has entered in even in the body of a dog, even in the body of a Chandala, and he is not discriminating, he is friendly to every living entity. Why I should discriminate? Right? So that is one equal vision. What is the other way? What is the other reason he sees equally every? Yes, very good. So another is a self-realized soul. He sees that qualitatively every single living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. They are of the same quality. But because of certain conditions, they have become manifested differently in the material world. In 84 lakh species of life, they have become manifested in the form of dresses. These are 84 lakh different types of dresses now they are wearing. Why should I discriminate based on their dress? This is not their identity. Their real identity is they are servant of the Lord, they are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So even in that way, self-realized soul sees everyone with equal vision. This shloka, which appears in today's class, also similar shloka appears in Bhagavad Gita in the 6th chapter. Here also you can see actually perfection of a self-realized soul who has attained perfection through dhyana. And the 6th chapter, there also Krishna describes about person who has become self-realized, and he also sees equal with equal vision. So it's practically the similar shloka. I'll just read that. So today's shloka, here it says, Sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam sarva bhutani chatmani iksheta ananya bhavena bhuteshu ivatad atmatam. And this is what I read now is the shloka from Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita shloka is 6.29. There it says, Sarva bhutastham atmanam Sarva bhutani chatmani. Same, that second line is also practically the same. Third, ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshanaha. And Prabhupada translates, a true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. It's very, very important understanding how a self-realized soul sees the Supreme Lord everywhere. It should not be misunderstood. When a self-realized soul is seeing a tiger, he is not seeing the tiger, he is seeing Krishna standing with two hands there. That is not the idea. How a devotee sees the Supreme Lord everywhere has to be understood properly. So, there is a very nice lecture on this Prabhupada gave. Very beautiful and very interesting to understand how Prabhupada explains this. So Prabhupada is saying, a true yogi, a true devotee observes me in all beings. Now, so one way we saw, as Paramatma, the Lord is present in all beings. So that is directly the Lord is present. Prabhupada is explaining the other way, how a devotee sees the Supreme Lord in every being. So this should be understood very clearly, very important for devotees. Just like these devotees are going to preach Krishna consciousness outside, why? So Prabhupada is saying, in Krishna consciousness, our devotees are going. And why are they preaching Krishna consciousness? They are going outside, they are trying to convince people to become Krishna conscious. Why are they preaching? They see Krishna in all beings. How? Because they see that all beings are part and parcel of Krishna. If I see only super soul and see everybody as equal, why should I preach? What is there to preach to super soul? Isn't it? So they see Krishna in this way also. How do they see? They see part and parcel of Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying, they see Krishna in all beings. How? Because they see all beings are part and parcel of Krishna. They have forgotten Krishna. So let us awaken them to Krishna consciousness. Everyone should know he is part and parcel of Krishna. Forgetting this consciousness, he is suffering. That is to see Krishna in everything. You see? To see the part and parcel of Krishna is also to see the Supreme Lord. And then Prabhupada is clarifying, because still doubt may come. How Prabhupada is saying he sees Krishna in, like this devotee seeing Krishna in everyone. So very nicely Prabhupada clarifies this. Not that everything has become Krishna. Don't see like it, or you will be mistaken. If I see that this boy is the son of such and such gentleman, then I see such and such gentleman in this boy. You see? Suppose some Grihastha devotee's son comes here, and I may not even know him. I just know him, okay, he is son of, but I know the devotee very well. So when I see the son, I see that his father. That is the idea Prabhupada is saying. So when we see the part and parcel, he is son of that Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is giving an example, even mundane example we can see. So what is Prabhupada saying? If I see that this boy is the son of such and such gentleman, then I see such and such gentleman in this boy. Is it clear? If I see every living being as son of God or Krishna, that means I see God in all beings. Do you understand? That is the meaning. Because what is that? When I am seeing the living entity, I am seeing he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. I am seeing him connected with the Supreme Lord. The moment you see disconnected, it is Maya. Moment you see anybody disconnected from the Lord, it is Maya. Nothing is independent. Nothing is disconnected from the Lord. Krishna says that in Chaturshloki Bhagavatam. What is Maya? Anything seen independent of me, anything seen disconnected from me, that is Maya. So devotee's vision is completely different. Mayavadi vision is, he will see all these are God. He is thinking God has distributed himself. So where is original God? There is no original God. All of them are God. This is their misunderstanding. This is not how a devotee is seeing. Devotee is seeing as part and parcel Son of God. See? Then Vishnu Jana Maharaj is asking question. Is this an association or this is a vision? So he is saying, is it because of association with Krishna or is this a vision how a devotee sees? Prabhupada, no, this is a fact. It is not association or vision. This is a fact. When you see a cat, when you see a dog, you see Krishna in him because you know that this cat is a living being. By his past deed, he has the body of a cat. So let me help this cat, give it some Krishna prasadam so that someday he will come to Krishna consciousness. This is to see Krishna in him. See? This is how a self-realized soul is seeing. This is how self-realized soul sees Krishna even in a cat. He sees, no doubt, super soul is also sitting, he sees that. But this is also another understanding. That even this living entity, because of his past karma, he is actually part of the Supreme Lord. He has now become a cat, ignorant. So let me help it so that it can regain its original position. We do not say, oh, here is Krishna, let me embrace this cat. See, this is not the vision. Self-realized soul is not seeing when cat is there, he is not thinking, this is Krishna, let me go and embrace this cat, it is Krishna. That is not the vision of a self-realized soul. When he is seeing Pandita Samadarshina, should not be misunderstood. This is nonsense. Here is a tiger, oh, here is Krishna, come on, please eat me. This is rascaldom. You should have sympathy with every living being, because he is part and parcel of Krishna. Vancha kalpatribhyascha kripa sindhubhevacha. Not that we shall go and embrace him, saying, come on Krishna, but the true yogi observes me in all being. This is proper seeing. So this is the method. Now, another very beautiful understanding about matter also Prabhupada gives. Because Krishna says, Maya tatam idam sarvam. Everything is in me and everything is not yet in me. Krishna is saying, the whole universe is in me and it is outside of me. Right? So that also Prabhupada explains. When Krishna is saying everything is in him, does not mean everything is directly in Krishna. When it is in energy of Krishna, either spiritual or material, no one can escape Krishna. No one can escape Krishna. That is not possible. So either we are in material energy or we are in spiritual energy. So in that way we are in Krishna, because energy and energetic are non-different. Understood? So Prabhupada is saying, not that everyone is Krishna. Don't make this mistake. Krishna is all pervading. He is in every human being. He is also there in the atom. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. You will find in Brahma Samhita. So he is also there within the atom. Why not in every living being? You should have that knowledge. The true yogi observes me in all being and also sees every being in me. How in me? Now Prabhupada is explaining. How? So this was clear. How to see Krishna in everything? This Prabhupada just now made clear. Correct? How to see Krishna in every being? He is part and parcel of Krishna. As Paramatma also, Krishna is present. He sees like this. How to see everything in Krishna? Second point. How to see everything present in Krishna. So true yogi observes me in all being and also sees every being in me. How in me? Because everything you see is Krishna. You are sitting on this floor, you are sitting on Krishna. You are sitting on this carpet, you are sitting on Krishna. You should know it. How is this carpet Krishna? Because carpet is made of Krishna's energy. To see every being, to see everything in relationship with Krishna means you see Krishna everywhere. You see? That is how to see Krishna everywhere. So, one more last point before we end this. Dhruva Maharaj, after offering, when he started offering that prayer, so one of the very important prayer he offers is how the Supreme Lord, he enters into everything. And he gives the example, very beautiful example. So he says, Ekastvam. Actually, you are that one Supreme Lord. Naneva bhati darushu. But just like the fire takes the shape of different firewood. Suppose the firewood is whatever, different shape, the fire appears to be like that. even though the Supreme Lord is one, because His energy is present and they manifest differently, foolish people think the Lord has become manifested like this. Otherwise, the Supreme Lord is one. But a devotee understands that yes, the presence of the Supreme Lord is there through His energies. So, the result of that, Prabhupada explains, seeing the Supreme Lord present everywhere. Prabhupada says, Dhruva Maharaj is praying, only a fool can forget you, my dear Lord. Learned man can never forget you. Somebody who has attained understanding about you, where is the point that he can forget you at any moment in his life? So Prabhupada explains this very nicely. Tvad-dattaya vayunayedam achashta vishwam supta prabuddha ivanata bhavat prapannaha tasya apavarga sharanam tava padamulam vismaryate kritavid katham arta bandho. Kritavid means, how can a learned person, vismaryate, how can he forget you? How can he forget the Supreme Lord who is arta bandho, who is the friend of everyone in distress, and everyone in the material world is in distress. So the Supreme Lord is actually friend of everyone. How can a learned man forget? So Prabhupada is saying very nicely that even in the beginning of this creation, right from the beginning of the creation, when Brahma was born and he had no understanding, who is he, why is he born, where has he come from, what are his duties, it is the Supreme Lord, out of His causeless mercy, He gave knowledge to him. So, that is what Dhruva Maharaj is acknowledging. Tvad-dattaya vayuna. Vayuna means knowledge. When the knowledge was given by you, Edam, this material world, achashta vishwam, this Vishwam, Brahma was able to perceive only then. Otherwise, he was not knowing, what is this I am seeing. He had no idea about this material creation. How was he? Supta prabuddha ivanatha bhavat prapannaha. Bhavat means Brahma. Supta prabuddha, he was like a man sleeping and then suddenly awakened by you. Why? Prapannaha, because he is completely surrendered unto you. So anyone who is surrendered to the Supreme Lord, anyone who is learned, how can he forget you? And then he is further saying, Tasya apavarga sharanam tava padamulam. Anyone who is desiring to become liberated from this material world, tava padamulam, simply by being surrendered to your lotus feet, one can become apavarga. He can get liberation from this material world. So after understanding all these concepts, how can a devotee ever forget the Supreme Lord? So Prabhupada explains, devotee sees the encouragement of the Supreme Lord in every step of his life. He cannot forget. So first of all, we find Dhruva Maharaj also felt Yahanta pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam. He is saying, similarly, my dear Lord, my senses were all sleeping earlier. You entered and you have made them live. Isn't it? So, very nicely Prabhupada says, the more a devotee engages, more encouragement is supplied by the energy of the Lord. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. The Lord gives them intelligence how to make further progress. Being so encouraged, devotee can never forget at any moment the Supreme Lord. Always the devotee feels obliged for having achieved increased power in devotional service. See? So just like the pure devotee, not only for others' benefit he is seeing the Supreme Lord present and he gives them Krishna consciousness, what about him? He is seeing that actually my life is completely made of mercy of the Supreme Lord. Every moment he feels encouraged in his devotional service. Every moment he feels, and that is how he can never forget the Supreme Lord. So very beautifully Prabhupada explains. So we'll stop with this Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki